Good morning, YouTube. It's been quite a while since my last garden update, and we have been very busy in the garden and doing different things, so I thought it was about time I showed you guys how the garden's looking now, which is sort of around excuse me, we've gone past the longest day here, so we're heading into autumn, but not yet. You know, we've still got February of summer to go. And yeah, so I'll just wander around the garden, do a little look around, see what's what and what's successful and what's not. So let's start on the patio here. So all this area is very successful. Got my pelargoniums there. I have stuck with, I don't know if you guys remember last year, I had real trouble with a lot of the summer bedding plants not working very well in the hanging baskets. So this year I've decided to just go with pelargoniums and things that I know that will work well. So that's why along the front here I've got Busy Lizzies, which are a type of succulent, because succulents work really well. And then along there you can see I've got the pink begonias, which are just bedding begonias, but I think they've worked exceptionally well and been very successful. So I think, and they're nice and neat, and they're not too tall, and they're just filling that area. So I think next year I might still have the Busy Lizzies, but I may swap them out for white begonias, because I do like a run of all that colour like that. It looks great. And on the patio, in all the patio pots, I'll just show you my Sarracena. That's doing exceptionally well. I had to pull it out of the pond area. I forgot it was in there, to be honest with you, and it's just started shooting now. All these deep red ones are new shoots. That is unsuccessful, and it was last year, so I'm pulling that out, and I'm going to put those in the garden and see if they do better in the garden. I think they're called tuberosa. I saw them once on Garden at Derwent's and I thought how lovely they were, but I'm not bringing them into flower for whatever reason. And this is lovely. This is my climbing lily, beautiful plant, and it's come back from last year. I haven't moved it out of that pot. It stayed in there, but I have given it some horse manure for a bit of feed to bring it on a bit more. And then this one's not looking very good at the moment. I've got to sort that pot out. And I've let these go to flower because I am going to take these out of here now at the end of the year and put those pots to use for something else. And just the pelargoniums. That was Ballata strata orchid. It's finished flowering now. And then I've got these, and I've used these a lot around the garden this year. I want to call them calachone, or something like that. But yeah, I can't quite pronounce the name correctly. And if I just pan around, you'll see that we've taken out quite a few more trees. So we got a lot more light coming in the garden. We've got rid of that one at the front. We got rid of more at the side. So we got the veg gardens in bright sunshine now. And yeah, and we've also topped those trees there. So we've got rid of all them as well. So we've done quite a bit of work around the place, and that's why I haven't done updates, because we've been pretty busy. So going back to the hanging baskets and the pots on the patio, so these have been very successful this year. I had quite a few of these calachone. Oh god, I had quite a few of these, and I thought, oh, I'm going to stick them out the front and see what they do rather than purchase bedding plants, because they weren't successful. And I've used the succulents, and they're coming on a trait. They're looking really good, and I shall stick with these in the future. And again, the pelargoniums or geraniums, whatever your choice, whatever you want to call them. And again, succulents and alyssum and small calachone. Calancio, I think it's Calancio. I think it's Calancio. I also put a succulent on the table, which was more successful. Didn't get blown over, didn't get wrecked by the wind. And yeah, and I've just matched it this side. I didn't really make much of a fuss of these beds this year, because I thought, oh, I was going to put all the cymbidiums in there actually, or just stand them in there, but it's all come back from last year, so I thought, oh, it's a shame to pull all this out because it looks nice. So I'm just going to leave it there and see how it goes. I did add a few, some more pelargoniums or geraniums, some of the trailing ones, put a few in here, and there's one at the end there climbing up the wall. It's looking very pretty. Very pretty one. And the biggest change of all is we've utilised this area. We used to have our spa pool in here and we got rid of the spa pool. So I've decided to bring all my succulents around. So they're all in this area. As you can see, they get full afternoon sun on that side. And then I decided to empty the house out of houseplants because it was looking ridiculous. Far too many houseplants in the house. And I've utilised this area and I've brought them all out here. And as you can see, they're all doing remarkably well. I mean, it's a bit dark at the moment because I'm in, early morning. But just look at the streps. They love it here. They absolutely love it here. So I'm really, really pleased with those because I nearly cooked them last year. And I'm going to try and do some cuttings because my friend would like some of them. Her greenhouse is now finished, so she's ready to get plants. But she won't be able to put these in the greenhouse. And as you can see, everything's doing successful. And I am going to leave it here for the winter. It is under cover. It will get cold, but it's not going to get the frost. And to be frank with you, if anything dies or it doesn't survive in this area, then it doesn't belong in my house because I'm sick of being a slave to it all. And yeah, you can sort of get really ridiculous with it all. And I'm just going to grow what I can grow in my conditions and try and keep away from stuff that I believe is not going to be successful. So the big pots of streps are up there. They do get a little bit of evening sun, so that's why they're probably looking a little bit sad. But hey, they need to be pulled out of there and repotted, to be honest. And the bromeliads. This is all I've got left of my violets. So they're not looking very good, but I'm over them. I'm not going to do them anymore. I've still got the trailing strep in there and all the other houseplants. This is a spider amaryllis, so I'm looking forward to seeing that one flower. I've only just potted that one because my amaryllis did really well in this area this year. And my husband, sorry it's a bit dark, my husband put up some brackets for me and I've put all my hanging baskets and my trailing plants on the front here. I may have to move them for the winter, but it is, they are under cover, so we'll see how it goes. So the front of the house hasn't had much change. I've just got, I've done the Busy Lizzies, and they're really good on the front here. I also brought these pots around from the back and I've just put some fuchsias in here and some of this trailing green stuff. I do know the name of it. It begins with D, but I can't quite grasp right now what it is. But that's going to look good, and they will be alright here for the winter because they are sheltered. Because the green stuff won't tolerate frost. And the biggest change for me, I suppose, is I've now got all my orchids in one area. So as you can see, I've brought all the cymbidiums out here for the summer to get lots of nice summer sun. And to be frank with you, I didn't have much come into flower this year. Like I had that yellow one back there, which is still in flower now. And I also had this pink one down here come in flower. And I did have a couple of the Chinese ones come in flower, but I've decided, because it's, hard work for all the plants I got, if these don't flower next year after giving them all this sun, as you can see, they're that lovely mossy green colour. They get loads of feed. If they don't flower next year, then they're not for me, and they've got to go as well. And the other big change is, last year I had the Ophelas orchids in this area, and they seem to love it. So I've decided to bring mine in here for the summer, so they're doing all right for the summer. I'll just go in and show you. I've had quite a few come in spike this year. I've got a spike coming on this one, so that's doing well. Even though we've had some chilly nights, and that's what it is. I've had, they seem to love it in here. They get sort of like, they're under trees and stuff, which is more their natural growing environment, I think. But look at this one. I'm calling this one Spiky. It has got masses of spikes, so many that I can't count them. And believe me, I've dropped it a couple of times and a few have broken off. But I'm really super pleased with that one. Cambria plush back there is just going over now. And then I did have a little, this one down here, which I see it's dropped a bud, and that's been flowering for absolutely ages, but I see got another bud coming, and that is a pulmonaria. So yep, so they seem to really enjoy it here. Like this one's been flowering for absolutely ages, although it's going over now. I've got a spike coming back there on that dendrobium. I don't know if you can see it back there. And yeah, they just seem to love it in here. And this one's been flowering for ages as well. Absolutely ages. So, oh, and I've got a Metoniopsis, whoops, sorry, in there. If you can see, it's just coming into spike, and it's got 2 or 3 other spikes coming on it. You can see one just sort of there. So yeah, really happy with that. I only had 4 begonia tubers survive last year. I've put them in here as well, and they seem to enjoy it in here. So I've got the orange one, which was one of my favourites there, so that survived. The yellow one, and then another reddy orange one at the front, and then this one's not, I don't know what that one's going to be. So, and then we've got all the bigger plants here. So yeah, I'm really super pleased with keeping them in here. And my husband said if I want, because the sun will be lower in the winter, there is a room in this area here. I'll just step back so you can see. This area here, I could bring the greenhouse in here for the winter, and I'm seriously considering it, to be honest with you, because the sun, he's trimmed a lot of these trees up, and the sun will come around and be in here, you know, all afternoon. So I may well do that. Still thinking about it though. So this is the area that we have been concentrating on this year, and I am super pleased with it. It is done amazing. All the dahlias have come up and they've been flowering for months, so very happy with this. And behind this lovely bank I've got the new area that we planted out, and that is done amazing as well. I haven't lost one plant in it. I've had some struggle because they've suddenly been exposed to the sun, but like this one for example, but as you can see, the new leaves are coming out and they are sort of getting used to the sun. So I mean, if it doesn't look good in a while, I will remove that one and put something else there. But you know, all the rhododendrons and the camellias have sort of adapted, and look at the colour. I mean, it is just amazing. I am so pleased with it. I don't know if it will survive, because obviously this is going to get a bit more frosty now because it's not under the trees, but I'm really hoping that all these dahlia tubers will survive. I can mulch them when they die back, and hopefully they will. So I've actually finished this area off with lining all the paths with stones, which was a mission. I had to go down the river. I can't tell you how many trips we done and how many stones I picked up, but I have laid all these stones myself. My husband did help me pick some of them up, but every single one of these stones I've laid myself, and it was a mission. But it did help where I'm not so big as I used to be, and a lot more energetic now. So as you can see, everything's growing away beautifully. It's looking fantastic. Super happy. It was absolutely the right thing to do to remove these trees, and don't regret it for 1 minute. Not 1 minute. There's lots of trees in here, as you can see. So I think that's a liquid amber, and oh no, it's a pin oak. So you know, these trees, once they grow up, they will give it a bit more shelter below. And in the meantime, all the grasses are taking over, and they're doing super well. Very happy. I hope I'm not spinning this around too fast. So, go to the end. We put up a bit of a cloth at the end here just to sort of end, you know, to mark the end of this bit of garden, and to protect the flax from the wind, because the wind comes across here, just until they get established. As soon as they get established, we'll remove that because it's not that tidy. And yeah, it's really happy with it. So, and our paddock's growing away now. You can see the grass in the background. We've got a couple of cows to graze the paddock, and yeah, we're more than pleased with the way things have worked out this year. So I'm going to get the sun. The other job that we're thinking, or I'm thinking of doing, my husband doesn't think it's necessary, but thinking of extending the driveway. So if you look out here, this is our mulch pile that we got delivered. This is the scruffy area, the working area. So these are all our bonfires, but we can't light them because there's a fire ban on at the moment, but we will be lighting them. But I'm thinking of extending the driveway from here and going right down to the bottom, down by the cow shed there. And yeah, so just thinking about doing that. Right, this area is done really well, considering it's been exposed a lot more to the sun. In fact, it's done a lot better. I'm really pleased with this area. I'm really pleased with the whole garden. I keep saying that, but as you look through, you know, it is looking amazing. It only gets afternoon sun, so I think it's still in shade most of the day, and which is good because there's a lot of shade loving plants in here, like this one for example, but it's doing all right. It's doing amazing behind here, and I am really happy with the bank. It's a bit steep and I do have to keep putting the mulch up, but it's, you know, what I've put in there has come away nicely. There's a lot of hydrangeas, there's a few fuchsias, and I'm really hoping, oh, and I shoved a few dahlias in here and there that I had left over. Hopefully they'll come away. I've also got the Japanese anemone in here, and I do have to keep that under control, but you know, because it will spread. But it's looking great. Really pleased. Even the hostas, you know, I thought, oh God, I'm going to lose the hostas, but no, they seem to have adapted quite well, and they're growing away. We did have a few trees break and things like this, you know, when it was first exposed after having the paddocks removed. The wind comes in. This, oh God, Pittosporum broke away, but it's, as you can see, it's coming back with a vengeance, so that's good. That'll come up and protect the bank a bit more. And I got some lovely hydrangeas. That's a lovely one there, look. And that one there. So they're all a bit small at the moment, but they will come away. They will look good eventually. I did put some grasses at the top there. And I still got my little wooded area. It's just this little bit here walking through, and that's okay because I just love the dappled sun or dappled shade, and yeah, I love this bit. And I've still got it, you know, I'm going to walk into the sun now, so it's looking great. And yeah, so you can just see it's getting its autumn colour. It's just, there you go, just getting its autumn colour, which is looking great. And then we've got, look at the lilies, amazing. Look at the multi-headed one. It's just beautiful, like a golden colour. Oh, and it smells gorgeous. And then, you know, this bank's doing super well. All coming away. I won't walk up there because I haven't done a lot of changes here. The only thing that I was concerned about this year really was one of these Hebes had got a big hole in it. And I was concerned. It wasn't this one, it was this one here. It's still got its hole, but the rest of the plant looks okay. And I was hoping it would grow in, but it hasn't grown in yet, so we'll just see. But we may have to take that one out, and that is a big job because it is a big bush. But anyway, that's all right. If we have to do that, we have to do that. So let's go over and have a quick look at the pond. The pond is the next big job. I do have to clean the pond out because it's had no attention really this year, and this autumn I probably need to get stuck in and get that done. And I haven't fed the fish this morning, which I will do. So they'll probably be all, they usually all gather around here. Yep, they're all there waiting for me to feed them. I'll feed them in a minute. But I had a beautiful plant this year. I want to call it the fishing rod plant. This is just its seeds, and my husband's trying to collect the seeds there in that bag. But it was absolutely amazing, amazing plant, and I'm hoping he can get the seeds and bring it on, and I'll put it in the native area as well, and it'll look great. You can see, even with its seeds, it looks attractive. These are the flowers back here, and they smell nice. So it starts off, you know, the flowers start at the end and they go up the branches, and it's super the way it hangs. It was hanging very low, and I tied it up a little bit to keep it off the grass because I was running the mower over it else. So yeah, let's go around the front or back, however you look at it. So you can see there's nothing in this area now. All the plants have been removed. Oh, and this, just to show you this. This is the second flush on the wisteria and the hydrangeas. And this is looking great. This is the only damage we had when we took that tree out. Where that egg is the root, the stump. And the only thing that got damaged when the guy took it out was that. And look at it. Look how it's come back. It was broken right down to the bottom. And that is a choicea, and so I wasn't worried about it because I knew it would come back. So yeah, this is completely empty. I'm not sure what we're going to do with this. It's too hot to keep the orchids, especially in the summer, but it would work for the winter, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I want to move them all again, and yeah, we'll see. I'm still thinking about it. So we go through the archway, which is covered in a clematis. In fact, I'll go duck in to get in here. Super pleased with the pears, all the espalier pears this year. You can see they've all got their bags on. That's to stop the damn birds pecking at them. So I bagged them yesterday because they're just turning red now. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it. So you see it's got the blush, and that would attract the birds, so we've covered this one up. And the Asian pear is not quite ready to be bagged yet, but I do have bags for that, so I will be bagging that one. So quite a bit of change out here. As you can see, we've taken all these trees down. These will rot down eventually, and we are going to take this netting down eventually, but just for a little bit longer we'll keep it up. And then down through here, you see this wire's come down. My husband's got to fix that. I keep meaning to tell him, I forgot. So this is the dahlias that we had. You can see how much taller they are here because they don't get so much sun. But look, they're all doing amazingly well, and this area looks really good. I've had to do a bit of tidying up in this area this year, but that's okay. Pleased with these acers, Japanese maples, doing so well. That one's doing particularly well. I've got another one over in the background over there, so you know, when I take down, oh, and there's another one there. When I take down the netting at the front, probably extend the garden out to the neighbour's paddock there, and then it's done. And this is getting a lot more light here now. We've removed the tops of those trees. So it's getting enough light to do much better. Alright, well, I think we'll end the tour here. Thanks for watching. Sorry I haven't been on for a while, but as you can see, I've been extremely busy. There's always something to do, and always new jobs to tackle. But overall, and we were trying to sell the house for a while, and we're not sure whether we actually want to sell it now, and whether we want to sell, especially now my husband's got a couple of cows, because he loves the cows and they're really friendly. So it is up, you know, advertising ourselves, and we're just going to leave it there, and if somebody rocks up. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you again soon. Bye for now.